Well, hello, and welcome on in to Dix Hills, Long Island. Not much time for an intro, as we were a little late getting set up. The game before us ran a little bit long. Really, though, all you need to know is the Dix Hills Hawks are a solid, very, very strong team in the mold of the Southwest Chester Blackhawks, who they actually tied earlier this season 1-1. Dix Hills always presents a challenge for anyone who comes all the way out to the Clark Gillies Arena here in Dix Hills, Long Island, in the Stars, playing under the Prestige Charter and banner here today, because this is an LIAHL Q game. Counts for the state's qualifying standings. And so we're going to get ready to roll here in just a moment. 15 minutes on the board. This is a three-period game, a little different than the EJ game yesterday, if you were able to watch that tape delay broadcast. In any event, the whistle goes. Looks like it will be Ryan Speaker in the net for the Stars to start this one off today. The Stars in their road navy blues. And he'll be taking on a Dix Hills Hawks team with a 81 and change My Hockey rating. The Stars currently sit at 78 and change, so it's a 2 to 2.5 goal differential between the two. The Hawks would be favored by those 2 goals, but you can go ahead and throw those rankings out the window, as the Stars seem to do best against the highly skilled teams. It's the Nicolaitis line out there. That face-off one forward. Now the Hawks will fire forward and work that into the offensive zone, but without possession. It's Coronati for McCarthy. McCarthy up to Nicolaitis. The Hawks take over, but only so far as Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis on the puck. Will work that all the way down deep into the offensive zone. Out of the net comes the Dix Hills Hawks netminder, and the Stars to look to take over. The Stars throw that around, and it's the Hawks there first. They'll break out the other way. Will the Hawks? It's Viscoso back on the puck, and he chips that puck up, and then streaking in from across the ice is McCarthy. This one's going to cross the end line, though, before he's able to get to it. 14:28 left to go here in the first, and it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Stars. They'll roll the Zimmage line out there. Gorloff and Schaefer now as the defensive pair will come out as well. It's going to be Bizarro in the slot. Fisher to the right of Zimmage for this defensive zone draw. Stars working right to left on your television screen here as the Hawks win that up to the blue line. Unable to keep the zone, though, as momentum carries that puck on out. Fisher tries to turn with it. The Hawks will fire it right back the other way. Just a bit offside. We'll do it all over again just outside the Stars zone here with 14:18 left to go in the first. Well, this faceoff's going to come right in front of the camera well here. It'll be Zimmage to take it again. Shortened up the stick, chipped it forward. The Hawks will try and dump in just past Zimmage again. Can't get past Schaefer. Bizarro with the breakout over towards Zimmage. Zimmage for Gorloff. Gorloff will dump in, and now Bizarro gives chase, but the Hawks netminder out there first, and it'll be Schaefer pinching in to keep the zone. Bizarro throws that toward the slot, nobody home, and now the Hawks look to break out the other way with speed. Schaefer able to get back. Nice back check by him. He picks it up at his own blue line, works it up toward Bizarro, just out of his reach, and so we'll play on here. Puck's going to sit in the neutral zone. Good pinch up there by Gorloff as Bizarro will dump it in again. The Hawks netminder very active early on in his own zone, and the Hawks will break the other way. It's Leshner on the ice, for the first time tonight, and he works that over toward Viscoso. Viscoso chips that puck up, not out just yet. The Hawks throw that in. Speaker able to get the shoulder in the way of that one as it was going just over the net anyway, and the Hawks will try and pick up and set up shop in the offensive zone, but it's McCarthy on the backhand, chipping it up and out of the zone. The Hawks dump in again, adjudged to be onside there, so it's Leshner turning for it at the end boards, working it up to the far half wall. McCarthy tries to dig that out of the half wall. The Hawks, though, looking to throw that toward the net front. The Hawks with some time and space at the near circle. They'll curl around. They throw to the slot this time. Nobody home. That puck's going to leave the zone, and the Hawks will pick it up at center ice. It's Fauci out there, forcing his man into an early pass. Leshner able to work that up past the blue line. The Hawks will dump right back in. Deflected shot, never finds the net mouth, and we're going to play on here as Viscoso has the puck jammed off his stick. A nice back check by the Hawks, icing waved, as it was a Hawks man who racked that puck around. Fauci bodies his man. The Hawks look to escape with it again, as there's been a lot of verve to this game very early on, 2.5 minutes in. It's Coronati settling that puck in his own end, stopping, delaying, thinking about coming back toward the strong side. He does, chips that puck up, but the Hawks camped out in the neutral zone, able to cut out the threat. It does go for an icing here with 12:22 left to go in the first here from Dix Hills, Long Island. Thank you so much for joining us today. Not sure we were going to be able to do the live broadcast. We're going to keep it going as long as we can. We're also doing our best to record this game should the feed drop. But for now, we look to be rolling. It's Nicolaitis, Russo, and Fisher. Russo takes that face-off win from Nicolaitis. He curls with it. A man draped all over him. Russo on the backhand. Throws that toward the slot. Shot in just over the cage. A screen shot by Nicolaitis. Just off target after it took a deflection. Now the Stars try and move that puck forward, but it's the Hawks breaking out the other way. A one-on-one developing. Schaefer with a nice back check, gums it up at first, and now the Hawks will dump in. Schaefer turns for the puck in the far corner. Puck sits there momentarily. The Hawks flick it farther forward, but emerging with it are the Stars through the center of the ice. Russo gets on his horse. The Hawks try and get back. Coronati up there as well. Russo nearly picked that point-to-point pass off, and instead that puck's going to roll into the slot. Hitting the side of the cage there was Russo trying to find Nicolaitis. He had a man all over him, but the Stars still maintain possession. Fisher tries a bank shot off the back of the goaltender, hits the side of the cage as well. Hawks now get this puck out of the zone. They skate it through their defensive zone, and they'll dump on in. Should go for an icing, but no, they had gained the line as the officials were right on top of it. Now it'll be the Stars trying to break out. Nicolaitis chips it for Coronati. Coronati up for Russo. Rolling puck comes to center ice, and now to the defensive blue line for the Hawks, who work it right past the neutral zone, and turning for it once again is Coronati, but that one's going to roll for an icing this time. 11:09 remaining to go here in the first frame. An offensive zone draw for the Stars. It'll be Zimmage, McCarthy, Bizarro out there, Gorloff and Leshner, as the lines just being mixed a little bit here by Coach Carney as he's down just a few skaters in this one. That puck flicked off the glass. It's going to escape the zone. Gorloff will settle it down on the backhand. He finds Zimmage right at center ice. Zimmage with speed into the offensive zone, but he had to delay at the blue line. Good gap control there by the Hawks, and he gets pushed offside. So 10:57 left to go here in the first. It's going to be a face-off just outside the Hawks zone. It'll be Bizarro and Leshner. McCarthy, Zimmage, and Gorloff as the five skaters in their road navy blues. It's Zimmage winning that forward and then firing into the offensive zone to give chase. Stars playing a dump and chase game right now early on in this one as the teams feel each other out. Bizarro in for support. Two Hawks men lean on Zimmage. He's able to keep the puck momentarily and try and work deeper. But instead, it's the Hawks working that up to the near half wall. Leshner with a nice zone keep at the blue line. He's going to fire that back in, and the Stars go back to work. It's Zimmage bodying his man, coming to the side of the cage, throwing it across the ice. Shot just wide by Bizarro. It'll be the Hawks working it up to the near point and skating it out of the zone. They throw it into the neutral zone. The Hawks come right back the other way. They tip it farther into the slot. Leshner there first, throws it off the boards, and the Hawks will dump in again. Bouncing puck at the end wall, spilled toward the slot. It's the Stars throwing it up and out of the zone, and now the Hawks will take over in the neutral zone. It's Dix Hills coming right back the other way. Leshner first to this puck at the near circle. He's going to skate it all the way around his net, work it up off the dasher. Rolling puck stays in the zone, and it rolls to a Stars man who's able to stick that over towards Zimmage. Zimmage finds Bizarro up the weak side. Bizarro will have to delay as the Stars making a change. Bizarro skates it all the way across the ice, looking for his teammates to come off the bench. It's Nicolaitis and Conforti out there now, as Nicolaitis does enough to gum up that breakout, and Conforti finds the puck in the far corner. He's bodied there. Two Hawks men on him, and he's able to get his skates back and work it down for Nicolaitis. Give and go, shot in, saved nicely there by the Hawks, as Fauci was waiting at the back post as well to tuck home any rebound. It was a nice save by the Hawks netminder. Now, the puck sits in the near corner. It's racked up to the near half wall. The Hawks will escape the zone on the forehand here. They send it across the ice. Cutting out the threat was Viscoso. Right at center ice. He'll dump right back in. It's Nicolaitis firing in on the forecheck. Nearly took the puck off the goaltender. Instead, it's Conforti at the near half wall. That puck's chipped out toward the blue paint. Comes to Conforti, who slaps it in, hits a stick, and it's coming right back the other way. It's the Hawks with a 3-on-2 here if they hurry. Viscoso forces the wide pass. The Hawks will dump in as they needed a change. It's Coronati on the puck now, on the forehand, skating this up and out of his zone across the blue line. He'll leave it there at the defensive blue line for the Hawks, who come right back the other way on the weak side of the ice. It's going to be a break-in. The Hawks in the offensive zone. They shoot and they score. Well, that was coming for one team at 8:43 in the first. It turned out to be the Hawks. This had been some end-to-end action, and the Hawks on a breakaway, able to pot the top corner goal and take the early lead in this one from Dix Hills. Well, ensuing faceoff will be Zimmich. He's got Fisher to his right, Bizarro to his left, and Gorloff and Schaefer as the defensive pair. That puck's racked around to the near side in the neutral zone. It's going to be chipped up farther by Schaefer for Bizarro. The Hawks try and turn that puck right back the other way. It's Bizarro on the back check, in with Schaefer. Schaefer takes a big hit there, and we'll get a call as it happened right in front of the camera well here. The Hawks up a goal, about to be down a man for the next 2 minutes at 8:28 left to go here in the first. It's going to be a roughing on the Hawks. Well, Nicolaitis, Zimmich, Bizarro, Coronati, and McCarthy out there as power play unit number 1 for the Stars. Nicolaitis at the near circle to try and win this drop. Nicolaitis ties up his man. The puck's kicked back to the Hawks defenders, though, and they're going to throw that up and out. And so that rolling puck is going to come up toward Coronati. Looks like icing's going to be waved here as the Hawks look to come away with it. But instead, it's McCarthy on the puck, working it up to the far side of the ice. He finds Zimmich there. Zimmich into the offensive zone. Drop pass for Bizarro. Dances past one man. Bizarro works that over to Coronati. Coronati loads up, looking for a deflection. Instead, that puck's going to escape the zone. And so tracking back for it was McCarthy. Bizarro to receive that pass. Bizarro gains the line, and he'll stop and delay at center ice. It's going to be thrown in by McCarthy. Now the Stars are going to need to dig this puck out. Instead, the Hawks rack it up off the glass and out of play. And so with 7:48 left to go here in the first, and still 1 minute and 19 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Stars, it's going to be an offensive zone draw. Now it'll be Zimmich at the far dot. Nicolaitis in the slot. Bizarro behind him. Puck's going to roll up toward Bizarro. He shepherds it farther for Coronati. Coronati on the backhand settles that puck for McCarthy, who throws it toward the slot. But the Hawks cut out that threat. Then they chip it up through center ice. It's Zimmich curling back for the puck. It rolls to a Hawks player into the offensive zone, though. They come shorthanded as that puck again crosses the blue line. It's thrown out of the zone, and Bizarro looks to track it down in the neutral zone. Hawks there first. They're happy to kill some of this penalty with possession of the puck. They send it right in front of their bench. They chip it on out. It's a 2-on-0 for the Hawks. Shorthanded into the offensive zone. They send it across the ice. Sliding across was Coronati. And Speaker's just going to dive on that puck as there was a Hawks man nearby. Coronati got back on that one. Slid all the way, it looked like, from the blue line to the end boards to cut out the threat. 7:10 left to go here in the first. Defensive zone draw for the Stars, who are still up a man for the next 41 seconds. It'll be Russo at the near dot. Try and win this. Back. He wins it over toward the near half wall. Firing in there was Viscoso to try and take it from his man. Stars still have numbers. They rack it up toward Conforti. Conforti sends it across the ice for Fisher. Fisher settles that puck down, tries to find Conforti the other way. Instead, it's Viscoso picking up that puck and dumping it into the offensive zone. 25 seconds left to go in the man advantage as the Hawks goaltender again settles that puck down. Fisher bodies his man. Stars try to throw it farther, but it's the Hawks emerging with it to the near side of the ice. Racked around. Viscoso thinks about pitching in. Instead, though, that bouncing puck's going to come all the way out of the zone. So Schaefer back to his own defensive end for the puck, throws it across, and then it comes right back toward Viscoso. It was Conforti working it back toward Viscoso. Viscoso being forechecked there, so he'll send it over toward Schaefer. Schaefer finds Conforti on the weak side of the ice. It's Conforti gaining the line, gaining the offensive zone, and dumping in, but just a bit offside. And so with 6:19 left to go here in the first, it's going to be a face-off. Looks like just outside the Hawks zone. Stars will make a change here. They'll get their lines right as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So it'll be Nicolaitis with Fauci to his left, McCarthy to his right, Leshner and Gorloff behind. It's the Hawks trying to win that back. They do. They go point to point, but it's cut out by McCarthy, who's pinching in there nearly on net. The Hawks cut out the threat, and they chip it up to the near point. It's now a 2-on-1 coming the other way. It's a 2-on-1 all the way into the offensive zone. Gorloff, though, first and early pass, that is. And he's going to track that puck down, but it comes to the slot. And then bodying his man there is Russo to cut out the threat. Excuse me, it was Leshner out there. 21-2, hard to see from this vantage point. In any event, it's the Stars throwing that into the slot. It comes to the side of the cage, and it's going to be covered there by the Hawks netminder. And so, an offensive zone draw upcoming here for the Stars, and what's turned into a track meet early on in the first. The scoreboard may not display it, but it has been some end-to-end action out there for both teams. Nicolaitis at the far circle. Leshner and Gorloff as the defenders. Nicolaitis again ties up his man. Puck sits under a skate, still under a couple of bodies now. Fired in, hits a body, doesn't get through. The Hawks chip that up and out of the zone. Gorloff will track back for it at the red line. Gorloff for Leshner, point to point. Leshner uses the boards, try and send that up toward Fauci. Right back out of the zone, though, by the Hawks, who now have a 2-on-1 again developing into the offensive zone. And again, it's Gorloff cutting out the threat. That's a slow roller that's going to come up into the slot. And now it's McCarthy up for Fauci. Fauci on the puck, works it just a bit forward. Stars have a bit of a line change going here. A lot of bodies out on the ice. They need to be careful not to touch the puck with the wrong stick. In any event, though, the Stars do complete that change. It's Bizarro on the forecheck. Looks to take the puck off his man, but the Hawks able to tie it up at least at the near half wall. 4 players in to try and dig that puck out. It's the Hawks who emerge with it across their own blue line. They chip it up, but only so far as Coronati. Coronati delays on the backhand. He's got a man all over him, but he works it up and out of the zone. Coronati still on the puck on the backhand. He'll send that all the way in. It's Bizarro on the forecheck as we tick past just under 5 minutes left to go here in the first period. It's Coronati now getting that puck back in the neutral zone. He'll go point to point for Viscoso. Viscoso works that puck up on the strong side of the ice. The Hawks cut it out and chip it forward, but only so far as Coronati, who this time uses the weak side boards for Bizarro, who chips that on in. Rolling puck swiped aside there by the Hawks netminder, and it'll be Dix Hills working that puck up to the neutral zone, but only so far as Coronati, who will again dump in. It's Zimmich on the forecheck this time. Puck rolls to the end boards. It's reversed around by the home team and chipped up to Coronati right at the blue line. Rolling puck's going to come all the way into the Stars' end. Fisher picks it up there. It's Fisher for Viscoso. Viscoso settles that puck, sends it right back to Coronati. Receives that tape-to-tape pass up to Bizarro. Bizarro chips it forward. Rolling puck picked up by the Hawks. It was Bizarro looking for Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis on the forecheck. Nearly has the puck off his man. Instead, the Hawks able to rack that up and out of the zone. It's Coronati receives it. Dumps it right back in. Nicolaitis and Russo in on the forecheck. It's Russo on the near side. Puck just chipped up off the glass to get around him. And the Hawks look to break out once again. It's the Hawks into the offensive zone now at the top of the slot. They'll send it wide all the way down to the near corner. It's the Stars trying to get that puck up and out. Rolling puck comes in. Swiped aside by Schaefer. And the Hawks set up once again, this time on the far side of the ice. The Hawks send it up. One-timer comes in, hits a stick, shoveled farther. The Hawks look to pick it up again in the near corner. It's Dix Hills throwing it across the slot. Nobody home. And now the one-timer will be chipped in, and that looks like it hit a body or was blockered aside. In any event, it's Conforti on the puck at the near half wall. Tries to chip it up past the top of the point there, and the shot comes in and goes wide. It's Schaefer all over his man. Puck rolls to the far half wall. That rolling puck's going to come in, but it was Viscoso in the way. He finds Conforti. Conforti for Nicolaitis. Rolling puck to the slot. Hawks take over there, but only so far as Conforti. He's all alone now. Tries to go to the side. A nice back check, though, by the Hawks. Cut out the threat. Schaefer keeps the zone on the backhand. Loads up on the forehand. Dumps it in deeper. It's Nicolaitis over to the slot. Nearly found Russo to pull the trigger. Just a little too hot to handle, and now the Hawks come the other way. The Hawks all the way in the offensive zone. It's a 2-on-1. That pass just a bit behind. It was Gorloff who did very well to jam up the passing lane. The puck comes through the blue paint there. Everybody take a breath as it missed all sticks, and now the Hawks will pick it up again in the neutral zone. It's the Hawks with speed through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. It's a 1-on-4, but the Hawks go around, looking to come all the way around and throw that into the slot. Bouncing puck hits Speaker's leg pads and then comes out of the zone. It's Zimmich this time with speed through the neutral zone. Zimmich settles that puck down, chips it across the ice. It's the Stars shooting in, and that puck never made it toward the goal mouth, and so the Hawks come right back the other way. It's a 2-on-2 for the Hawks into the offensive zone. Again, end-to-end action here as it's the Stars trying to dig that up and out of the zone. It's going to come all the way toward the end boards, far corner now, as Viscoso and McCarthy are over there. It's chipped farther by the Hawks. Rolling puck toward Viscoso, gets caught in some skates, and it is going to leave the zone. It's Fauci for McCarthy. McCarthy will just send that right into the zone. It's slapped farther by the Hawks netminder. 90 seconds left to play here in the first. That pass just clipped the side of the leg pad, and the shot just missed wide. And so onward we play as that one's going to be jammed in just offside. 1:20 left to go. The McCarthy shot nearly home, but a nice save by the Hawks netminder. Sees that puck come all the way out of the zone. And so 80 seconds left to play here in an active first. It's a face-off just outside the Hawks zone. It's Nicolaitis on the puck, works that back toward Schaefer. Schaefer, spinorama, dumps that into the zone. The Hawks send it right back the other way. It's Nicolaitis and Schaefer trying to work that puck into the offensive zone. Instead, though, it's the Hawks coming the other way. That puck's jabbed wide, looks like by Fisher. And so now it'll be Coronati sending it right back toward Schaefer in front of the Stars bench. Schaefer will curl into his own zone, works it on the forehand up for Bizarro, who would track back for the puck. Bizarro has Fisher up the right wing. Bizarro all the way to the far half wall. Fisher looks to take that puck deeper in the zone, though. The Hawks will chip it off the boards, only so far as Coronati, who shovels it farther there. Now the Hawks making a change right in front of where the puck is. They'll have to delay. They do. It's a 2-on-2, though, for the Hawks into the offensive zone. The Hawks try and throw it all the way in front of the goal mouth on a deflection, and it looks to be the Stars first on the puck through Schaefer. Now Bizarro in for support. It's the Hawks, though, emerging with it at the end boards. Comes around the side of the cage, sits there. The Stars chip it farther, and now it's jammed just wide. Oh, a dangerous play there. If you're a Stars fan, rolling puck to the side of the cage, up to the top of the slot. Stars get in the way of that one. It was Fisher who was able to work it past the blue line. 11 seconds left to go as the Hawks just fire that puck in. It's kicked aside by Speaker, and now the Hawks look to set something up with 4 seconds left to go. It's jammed up to the point. Shot comes in. Speaker there, able to reject it. Rolling puck in the slot, but that's going to do it for the first period here from Dix Hills, Long Island. After one, it's the Hawks 1, the Stars nothing. Stick around. We're going to put 15 minutes on the board, do it all over again in just a second. This is Midnight Sports. Well, players coming over the boards here. There goes the whistle. It's going to be puck drop for period 2 coming up momentarily. But time to remind you, Youth Hockey on Midnight Sports is sponsored by Generation X. Hockey fans walking around today, you can't help but notice all the kids wearing their Nirvana t-shirts. You find yourself remembering the good old days. That's right, flannel, phone books, and latchkeys. The good people behind Gen X knew that you didn't need to have a smartphone to have fun. You simply found a VHS of Reality Bites and your older brother's case of Zima, and you were ready to roll. Find us today at your local craft brewery. We'll be the ones in back, mocking everyone who walks in. Gen X, tomorrow's Boomers, today. Puck drop for period 2. One there by Nicolaitis, thrown over toward Viscoso. And Viscoso will delay on the puck, work it up toward Nicolaitis, who shovels it farther on the right side of the red line. If you're a Stars fan, it's McCarthy on the puck at the end boards, throws it out front. Nicolaitis was streaking in. Hawks first to it, I should say. Ducks colors, but the Dix Hills Hawks team, and that's going to be shoveled right back in by Coronati. A tactical play there on the offside, as there were 2 Hawks men streaking toward him. And had they gotten past him, it would have been a 2-on-0. And a generous call by the officials there to keep this faceoff just outside the Hawks zone. It's Nicolaitis again at the dot. Russo to his right, wins it back toward Viscoso. Viscoso gains the line, throws that on in. It's McCarthy who's going to be first to this puck at the far corner. Tries to shuffle it farther. Rolling puck comes out all the way up toward Coronati, who fires in, looking for a deflection. Puck sits in front, and then it's thrown out of the zone. Onward we play. It's Coronati settling that saucering puck down, flicking it up toward Russo. Nearly received it in stride. Instead, though, that puck sits right in front of the boards here on the glass. That puck might trickle across, arm raised for icing, and icing's going to be waived, though. The back official had his arm up for icing, The front official adjudged the Stars to have slow skated that one as it crossed the line, and so onward we play with 14 minutes left in this period of the long change. Chipped up toward Russo. Russo receives that, jams that past the blue line, and it'll be the Hawks taking over. The Hawks on the puck in their own end. They'll go point to point there as the Stars making a partial change. And it's Viscoso cutting out that threat. He gets upended here right in front of the boards. The Hawks come right back the other way. They'll chip and change as they work that puck into the offensive zone. It's the Stars all over the Hawks man. It was Coronati who leaned on him and forced the turnover to Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis up for Russo. Russo tries to shovel it farther. The Hawks are going to come right back the other way. The Hawks with speed through the neutral zone into the slot. Rolling puck. It's going to go wide of the cage. Hawks wanted a tripping call there. The Hawks man able to keep his skates. Puck rolls in front. Speaker puts the leg pad in front of it. It hits a body. And we're still playing here with just 13 minutes left to go in the second period. It's the Hawks firing that in. Speaker able to gobble that one up with 13:03 left to go in the second. It's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Stars. Well, this period of a long change can lead to some long shifts, and that is exactly what happened to both teams there. So now both teams will roll some new skaters out there on the ice. It'll be the Zimmage line to take this draw. Zimmage has the puck, sit at the dot. Firing in are the Stars. The Hawks will dump it just a bit deeper. It's Gorloff first to it on the forehand. Chips it up off the glass. Takes a carom off a stanchion, though. And the Hawks able to keep the zone. Hawks dump it in deeper. Now it's Zimmage on the puck. A little bit of time. He looks up. He's got Pizarro way up ice, but no passing lane. The Hawks did very well to get in the way, so Zimmage will carry it himself. Dangles around one man. He's in. He shoots. It's shut down by the Hawks goaltender. Not much real estate for Zimmage once he was able to get past the two men in the offensive zone. And so that's good gap control once again by the Hawks on that. Pizarro tries to fire it farther. It kicks it over toward the far dot. But it's going to be the Hawks in a 3-on-2 coming the other way. Schaefer and Gorloff back. The Hawks into the offensive zone. Drop pass up to the point. That deflection doesn't come in. Speaker down. Shovels it farther toward the end wall. The Stars look to break out the other way. It's now Conforti on the puck. He's got Pizarro on the left wing. He finds him there. Pizarro into the offensive zone. Chips it farther off a man. Onward we play. It's Pizarro down toward Conforti, streaking in. That shot goes just wide off the stick of Fauci, and Conforti will rack it around to the near side for the Stars. That puck's going to be chipped up but gloved out of the air by the Hawks. And so with 11:48 left to go here in the second period, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Stars, and they will roll Fisher, McCarthy, Leshner, Fauci, and Viscoso out there as the five skaters. It will be Fauci to take this drop. Fauci ties up his man. Puck carried farther into the zone. Sits in the slot, shot in there by Fisher. Saved nicely by the Hawks goaltender. Now it goes all the way down to the end line, does the puck, as McCarthy able to dance around his man, who still stays draped all over him, though. And pinching in there was Fisher for some help. It's Fauci on the backhand, tries to work that up for a point shot by Leshner. Instead, though, the Hawks will work that puck the other way. Leshner cuts it out right at the blue line, sends it right back toward the Hawks. Now it's the Hawks at the blue line, and again, Leshner in the way, finds Fauci. Fauci will dump that in, and Fisher will give chase. It's McCarthy over on the far side of the ice, waiting for this zone breakout. Nearly gets his stick on it, but Viscoso holds the zone. On the backhand, works it to the far half wall, and then it's chipped out of the zone by the Hawks. Fauci back covering, works it over toward Leshner, and Leshner will dump in once again. Hawks netminder out of the cage, and works that up to the near half wall. Leshner fires in once again, looking for a deflection. Puck sits at the blue paint. Hawks there first. They work it around to the far side of the ice. The Hawks look to carry that out of the zone. Two Stars men all over the Hawks, but they do escape the zone. Some sticks in the way as the Hawks work that up again. Hawks into the offensive zone. No call coming. Here it is. There's the arm raised. The Stars will touch up. It's going to go for a hook against the Stars as the Hawks had gained the zone. That stick of Viscoso got just a little bit too high on the hands. He was going for a stick lift. He found the mitts of the Hawks man breaking into the zone. And so, with 10:34 left to go in this middle frame, Stars down a goal, now down a man for 2 minutes. Penalty killers over the boards. Nikolaitis and Russo as the forwards. And that puck sits at the dot between a bunch of skates now. and it goes over toward the half wall. It's the Hawks emerging with it. They throw it across the blue paint. Nobody home. Comes up to the blue line, but a nice zone keep there by the Hawks. On his man was Nikolaitis, still in the slot. As they shoot in, it goes wide of the cage, hits a body, and sits at the end wall. Is thrown in again as that rolling puck comes toward the slot. Speaker had gotten a stick on it at first, and then the Stars able to jam it up and out of the zone. A nice zone clearance. Still 1:30 left to go on the man advantage here for the Hawks as they pick up the puck in their own zone. It's Nikolaitis, though, on the forecheck, able to force a pass. That rolling puck comes in. It's sticked up into the glove of the Hawks goaltender. And so an offensive zone draw coming up here for the Stars, who are on the kill for another 1:21 in the second. 9:55 left to play here in the second period. It's Zimmich, Pizarro, Schaefer, and Coronati out there to try and kill off the rest of this penalty. Face-off taken there by the Hawks, deeper into their own zone, but with possession, and then they work it up to the weak side of the ice. They've got some time and space. The breakout comes to center ice. Pizarro taps it farther, back the other way. It's the Hawks collecting at their own blue line, working it up now through the neutral zone, but Pizarro cuts out the threat. It's a mini break for Pizarro. Pizarro in for the shorty. He shoots it, saved by the Hawks netminder. And Coronati racks that farther for Pizarro. Pizarro chips it into the offensive zone, takes a hit to try and kill more of this penalty. 53 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Hawks. It's the Hawks coming with speed through the neutral zone. They'll dump on in. Puck goes all the way to the end boards. Coronati and a Hawks man meet there. It's Zimmich in for support. Puck just sits against the yellow paint at the end boards. Still there. Referees saying move the puck. No player seems interested in doing that. Now bodies start to go flying. Puck still caught between some skates. We'll see if we get a whistle here soon. The puck must be moving between those skates as no official has a whistle to mouth just yet. It's about 10 seconds at the end boards there that this puck is set. Finally, it does break free. The Hawks try and jam it farther, but it's Zimmich emerging with it. He's got Pizarro up the left wing. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Zimmich all the way across the blue line. He picks it up again. Zimmich on the puck, tries to get the shot off. Instead, it's going to come the other way from the Hawks. It's a 3-on-2 for them with just 3 seconds left to go in the man advantage. They try and dangle around. Leshner in the way. Speaker way out of the blue paint. Sticks that farther into the far corner. It's now Leshner sending that up off the glass. Rolling puck comes out of the zone. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Conforti jams up that zone break in at first. Puck's going to come all the way over toward Schaefer, it looks like, who works it past the blue line, and then the Hawks able to dump in once again. It's Leshner turning and working it up toward Conforti. Conforti turns, spins with the puck, finds a Hawks man, though, does that rolling puck, and now the Hawks look to shoot in. They've got it in the slot there. They send it wide, do the Hawks, trying to set up a play at the top point, but it's a Hawks man blowing a tire, and now the Stars, through Fisher, will come the other way. Joining the rush is Conforti. Fisher on in, on the forehand, tries to send that in. Good defense by the Hawks. Cut out that pass. It goes all the way to the end boards. It's Gorloff keeping the zone, tapping it farther for Conforti, who turns, fires, and he's going to find Fauci at the near side of the ice. It's now Fauci trying to work that puck deeper. Puck rolls up, and Fauci able to glove it down, jam it just a bit farther. The Hawks will take over in the near corner. They rack it all the way around to the weak side of the ice. They look to chip that puck out of the zone. They do. It's going to roll toward Leshner on the backhand. Leshner, a deflection up into the netting. And we'll get a break in play here with 7:26 left to go in the second period. Catch your breath. We're about halfway through this game. Now it'll be Nikolaitis, Russo, and McCarthy as the forwards. Looks to be Gorloff and Leshner as the defenders. Center ice drop. One there by the Stars. Work back toward Leshner. Leshner works it up off the boards. Russo takes a hit there. Able to gain possession of the puck as far as Nikolaitis, who had the line and dumped in. It's McCarthy firing it on the forecheck. Hawks work it around to the far side of the ice. Hawks looking to chip this puck up and out of the zone. That's exactly what they do. Gorloff point to point for Leshner. Leshner now toward Russo. Russo chips it farther, and the Hawks will have to pick up that puck, but McCarthy meets his man there at the end boards. It's McCarthy working that puck farther for Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis delays, works it deeper for McCarthy, but a Hawks man in the way looks to break out of the zone. It's Nikolaitis, though, jamming up that puck as it sits in the far circle. It's going to be racked out of the zone, and the Stars will have to pick it up once again in the neutral zone. It's the Stars working that up toward Russo. Russo for Nikolaitis, nearly in on a mini break. Again, though, the Hawks cut out the threat. Rolling puck comes up to Leshner. Leshner in the middle of the ice will dump that on in, and he can go for a change here. It's McCarthy toward the end boards. Puck is intercepted there by Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis for Russo. Shot in, saved by the Hawks. And Dix Hills looks to break out of the zone. Well, it'll be The Hawks moving that past the blue line, but without possession. So Gorloff will work it back for Viscoso. Viscoso in front of the scorer's booth, chipped farther now by Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis has McCarthy with him. Nicolaitis looks across, shoots in, and that's going to be gloved down by the Hawks netminder. No passing lane for Nicolaitis. Over to McCarthy, given the sliding defender in the white jersey. And so Nicolaitis had to pull the trigger, and it was a nice save there by the Dix Hills goaltender. It's going to be an offensive zone draw here for Zimmage, Fisher, and Bizarro. Viscoso and Coronati as the defenders. It's Zimmage working that puck forward on the faceoff, but without control. Fisher on the forecheck, works it to the side of the cage. The Hawks, though, will get this puck up and out of the zone, streaking through center ice were the Hawks, but Zimmage picks up that puck after it came off a skate. Working it in the offensive zone was Zimmage, but without possession. And now the Hawks will try to reverse. Zimmage upends his man. Bizarro takes that puck and tries to work it deeper. The Hawks in the way. It'll be Fisher tracking back for it, jabbing it farther, but the Hawks escape the zone with it. Long stick of Viscoso gums up that zone breakout. He'll dump on in. The Hawks take the puck at the near side of the ice in their own zone. Fisher finds it there. Fisher curls with it on the backhand, looking for Bizarro. Good defensive stick there by the Hawks. Gets in the way, and they'll skate this puck up and out of the zone. Viscoso will turn. Hawks first to the puck. They jam it just a bit deeper. Puck at the end boards. The Hawks look to fire it out front. Instead, they'll reverse over to the near side of the ice. The Hawks in the near corner, near half wall, near point. They'll fire in. Speaker kicks that aside. Rolling puck gobbled up by Speaker. Oh, boy. That net looked open there for a second. Speaker got post to post, grabbed it with the armpit. And so with 5:06 remaining here in the second, it's a defensive zone draw for the Stars. Well, it'll be Nicolaitis at the dot to take this draw. Puck one toward the point by the Hawks, but it's Viscoso emerging with it, with a man all over him, tries to rack it up toward Conforti. Conforti with a nice breakout toward Nicolaitis. That puck does roll past the blue line, at the very least for the Stars. Now the Hawks will reset, but that pass, again intercepted by Nicolaitis. Fauci quick out of the zone. It'll be Nicolaitis upended. We're going to get a call here against the Hawks. The Hawks fans don't like it, but as soon as the Hawks touch up, they'll be going to the box here for 2 minutes for tripping, with 4:40 remaining here in the second period, which gives us time, on a personal note, to wish a very happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, the founder of Midnight Sports, just a couple of days late. But D-Biz, we hope it was a great day, and all the best wishes for you. All right, enough of the mushy stuff. It's the Stars with 2 minutes on the board, the man advantage. 4:40 remaining here in the second. It's Bizarro working that face-off win up toward the point, and the shot comes in. It's deflected just wide. It's Bizarro on the puck. He chips it up toward Coronati again. Coronati back for Bizarro. Bizarro dancing in, throws that across. Doesn't reach the other side of the blue paint. Bizarro will pick up that puck once again. He throws it to the far side of the ice, but splits the defenders, so McCarthy will come back for it. McCarthy over for Coronati. It's the Hawks on an aggressive forecheck here, but they'll make a partial change. Will they, the Hawks, as they chip the puck into the offensive zone. McCarthy gets in the way of his man, and now the Stars look to break out of their own zone again. It's Zimmage working that puck up toward McCarthy. A nice lead for him. McCarthy into the offensive zone, sends it across the ice, finds a Hawks stick, and the Hawks look to break out of the zone. Puck's jab, but now it's the Hawks with one-on-one into the offensive zone. They look for a trailer there. They find him in the slot. They shoot in. Speaker with the save. That puck jabbed farther. Speaker down at the far post. The Stars, though, need to get this puck up and out of the zone. They do. It's Zimmage on the puck. It's a 3-on-3. Zimmage over for Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis into the slot, tries to leave it there, and the puck hops over his stick. Bizarro bodies his man, loses his stick, and it'll be the Hawks coming the other way. It's the Hawks in a 2-on-2. Still 45 seconds left to go in the man advantage as the Hawks curl into the slot. Drop pass there, shot in. Speaker kicks that up and over the cage, and now it's Coronati working that puck off the end boards toward McCarthy. 34 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the second period. That puck's going to roll across the end line, though, and so it's an icing on the Stars. 3:07 remaining to go here in the second. 27 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Stars. A defensive zone draw upcoming, though, for the road team. Well, it's going to be a near circle drop. Russo to take it. He's going to have Fisher to his right. Conforti, Viscoso, and Schaefer behind them. Puck sits at the dot, worked forward, but the Dix Hills forecheck forces the Stars back. It's now the Stars in their own end looking up ice. It's Viscoso skating that up toward the blue line. It's racked up toward Russo. Russo leaves it there. And the Hawks try to get on the puck, but Viscoso had stormed forward. He gains the offensive zone. It's Viscoso on the puck, shoveled farther by him, worked up toward the point, but it was Russo who had tracked back so as to cut out any odd man rush. And now the puck comes in. It's Russo again on the puck. He's on the backhand. He throws that in. It's saved. Oh, he was looking for Conforti, who just missed wide of the cage as the Hawks netminder had gotten across post to post. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. 2:24 remaining to go here in the second. It's now Fisher and Conforti trying to work that puck deeper in the zone. Instead, though, the Hawks will come the other way. It's the Hawks all the way across the ice. Schaefer turns with his man. Down the near half wall, Schaefer pushes his man wide, and the Dix Hills man will stop, delay, throw that rink wide. And the Hawks look to pick that puck up. Bouncing puck to the far circle. Puck still bounces there. Picked up by a Hawks man who rounds the cage, throws that across, and they shoot, they score. Well, the Hawks had come to the side of the cage. They jammed it out front, and they were able to sneak it under the leg pads of Speaker as he was trying to get post to post. So with 1:57 remaining to go here in the second, it's Hawks 2, Stars nothing. Well, ensuing face-off, it's going to be Nikolaitis with McCarthy and Fauci as the forwards, Leshner and Gorloff as the defenders. The Stars need to push back here, try and cut this lead in half. It'll be the Hawks dumping on in. Leshner on the puck at the end boards, works that up to the near half wall, and then it's dumped in once more by the Hawks. Gorloff on the puck. Gorloff works it up toward Fauci, who swipes it farther. That puck leaves the zone. It should be an offside. It is. 1:39 remaining to go here in the second. Well, 99 seconds left to go here in the middle frame. It's going to be a face-off just outside the Stars zone. Nikolaitis at the dot. The puck won over toward Fauci, dumped in by the Hawks. It's going to go wide of the cage. Leshner picks it up, settles that rolling puck, jabbed forward, but the Hawks look to keep the zone. They indeed do. Puck comes to the side of the cage, sits now behind the cage after Speaker sticks it farther. It's the Hawks, though, at the far side of the ice, able to keep the zone. It's Gorloff on the puck, works that puck up toward Nikolaitis. Nikolaitis with speed out of his zone. He's got Fauci in front of him. Nikolaitis takes the left wing position, works it over toward Fauci. Fauci farther for McCarthy. McCarthy across. That puck goes behind the cage on a deflection, and the Hawks will look to set up again in their own zone to work this up and out. They flick it across the ice. It's going to cross the blue line. 1 minute even remaining left to play here in the second. Gorloff up toward McCarthy. McCarthy jabs that farther, but up into the Stars bench. And so 55.3 left to go here in the second. It's going to be a face-off outside the Hawks zone. Well, it'll be Pizarro, Russo, Zimmage, Viscoso, and Coronati out there for the Stars. Zimmage leans over the dot, wins that forward, and Pizarro fires in on it. It's at the end boards. Hawks there first. Pizarro takes it from his man, tries to spin it toward the slot, hits a skate, and a stick, and it'll go wide. And now the Stars will have to pick it up at their own blue line. Coronati first to it. He goes around a man, skating backwards, works it up just past Russo. The Hawks will dump right back in on net. Speaker able to leave it there for Coronati. Coronati on the puck, works it up toward Russo. Russo now chips that farther, and he finds Zimmage. Zimmage is a 2-on-2 developing with Pizarro. Getting back are the Hawks. Pizarro has to fire that in. It's sticked aside there by the Hawks netminder. 20 seconds left to go. Maybe one more rush in this period. It's Viscoso firing that in, trying to work it deeper as it comes over toward Russo. Russo turns with it, takes a hit. The Hawks get in the way, and they work it up toward Viscoso. 7 seconds left to go. Viscoso down toward Russo. Hawks cut it out. Now they'll come right back the other way. They chip it just past Viscoso, who upends his man. That'll do it for period number 2 here from Dix Hills. It's the Hawks with 2, the Stars with nothing. We'll do it all over again. 15 more minutes coming up on the board right after this message from our sponsors. Youth Hockey on Midnight Sports is brought to you by the good folks at Heartburn. Hockey fans, who doesn't like a few Doritos with a sandwich? Or peanut M&Ms just because? Everyone loves it, of course, but you're special. because you get to remember that lasagna long after you ate it. That's right, come 3 in the morning, you'll be cursing that second helping with a side of garlic bread. Your old friend heartburn will wake you up and make you figure out if you're having a heart attack or just need some Tums. The fun part is not knowing which as you try to get back to sleep. Heartburn, we're more than just a symptom of your anxiety. Well, there goes the whistle to start the third. And we're back to the regular sides here as we get a second whistle to call the Stars over the bench. And here come the Stars. Down 2 goals, 15 minutes on the board. A lot of hockey left to play here from Dix Hills. Don't go away just yet. It's Nicolaitis at the dot. Russo to the right, McCarthy to the left. Nicolaitis wins that forward. Hawks control at their own blue line, and they try and work it past McCarthy. Can't get past him. McCarthy into the zone. It's a 3-on-2 as Russo has that puck. Tries to work it deeper for McCarthy. McCarthy spins, finds Nicolaitis behind the cage. Nicolaitis out toward McCarthy. That puck bounces up and over the stick, though, and now getting back is Coronati on the puck. Coronati settles that saucering puck down, chips it past the blue line after the Hawks had come into the zone. Hawks, though, right back into the zone. Good back check by the captain. Works that puck past the blue line over toward Russo. Russo up for Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis into the offensive zone. Hawks there first. Nicolaitis, though, spins with the puck. Tries to work it deeper. Puck comes up to the point. Now the Hawks look to emerge with it. The Hawks into the offensive zone. It's a 2-on-1 here for the Hawks. They fire it across. It hits a skate and goes wide. And now the Hawks have a trailer calling for the puck at the near half wall. They'll circle in the offensive zone. The Stars try to get their defensive shape right here as the Hawks have the puck. They go all the way around to the far point. Slapper coming in, hits a body, goes well wide, and the puck rolls toward the side of the cage, and it's Coronati getting a stick on that puck, cutting out the threat. The Hawks still in the zone. In the slot, that puck comes. It's the Stars diving through Viscoso, getting it farther in the zone, but not out. Coronati will now fire as the Hawks try and tilt the ice early on here in the third. Coronati on the puck in the near corner, and it's Nicolaitis in for support. That puck sits at the end boards. It's thrown out front. Oh, Speaker had shut that down with the glove. It went just wide, and now we play on. It's the Hawks keeping the zone. It's Coronati on the puck, trying to work it out. He's got 2 Hawksmen all over him. Nicolaitis in for support. Nicolaitis is going to come away with the puck on the forehand, works that puck up. Again, not out, though, as the Hawks will pinch all the way in. That puck's going to be feathered in deeper. Both teams pretty tired now on the skaters, and it'll be Coronati racking that all the way down for an icing. And it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Stars. Well, the Hawks with a big push there for the first 2 minutes of the period. Unable to pot, though, as this will be Zimmage at the dot in the defensive zone. Puck sits at the dot, sits there still, caught between some skates, and it's Gorloff working that up to the far point. It's the Hawks able to fire that in, deflected wide of the cage, bouncing puck, picked up by Gorloff and then a Hawks man. Hawks have the puck at the end boards. It's Gorloff first to it on the backhand, trying to work that puck up toward Bizarro. Bizarro shovels it there, up and out of the zone. It'll be the Hawks collecting at center ice, dumping right back in. Schaefer on the puck. Tries to work it up past the blue line. Zone keep there by the Hawks at first. Bouncing puck toward the slot. Alert to it was Gorloff. Sticked off his stick, and the Hawks able to keep the zone once again. They dump right back in. It's Gorloff on the puck in the near corner on the backhand, trying to find Bizarro. He does. Jabs it out of the zone. Does Dominic Bizarro. The Hawks will throw that across the ice. They've left the zone and they're right back in. Good stick there by Gorloff, but the Hawks able to work farther in the zone. They throw it across. Nobody home. And they'll pick it up at the far point and rack it in just a bit deeper. Now into the slot come the Hawks. Speaker able to make the save. Bouncing puck in front. And the Stars clear the blue paint. Well, it's the Hawks setting it up again at the far point. They throw that across, looking to tuck that home at the far side of the ice. Instead, this one's going to come into the slot. It's sticked farther there. Speaker gets the leg pad in the way. And now it's the Stars coming the other way through Zimmage. Zimmage tries to find Fisher. He does. Fisher pulls that puck from behind him and gains the offensive zone. He shoots in. That's going to be deflected up into the netting. And it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Stars. Well, it will be a near circle drop. Conforti, Fauci, McCarthy out there as the forwards, Leshner and Viscoso as the defensive pair. It'll be Fauci at the dot. That puck won by Fauci over toward Conforti, who drops it for Leshner. Leshner dumps that in. It's McCarthy on the puck at the end boards, bodied there. McCarthy able to take the puck off his man, though, and go skate to stick momentarily. It's Conforti now in for support at the far corner. McCarthy looks to dig it out there, deeper into the zone. 4 players in on it. The Hawks happy to eat up time in this game right now, as long as the puck doesn't come toward the net front. It's the Hawks on the puck behind their cage. They're going to work it up to the near half wall and then find some time and ice just a little bit deeper in their zone. They work it out through the neutral zone, in toward the offensive zone. Now come the Hawks. 2 Stars back. It's Fauci. Rolling puck. Speaker's just going to jump on top of it somewhat dramatically here in the third period. 11:05 remaining to go in the final frame. It's a defensive zone draw for the Stars. Well, looks like Leshner and Viscoso as the defensive pair. Nikolaitis out there with McCarthy and Russo to complete the forward line. Nikolaitis at the near circle. Will delay here just momentarily, as will the Hawks, as Speaker gets an equipment check, looks like, in his cage. Well, we'll see. Just for a second, it looked like the dangler may have come a little bit loose when he dove on that puck. The officials just checking it to make sure that its integrity is intact. It is, and onward we play here. Puck's dropped, and it'll be McCarthy working that puck up toward the slot. Backhander hits a body, goes wide. Now Viscoso racks that around. It's going to leave the zone. Icing's going to be waved as the Hawks will track all the way back to pick up this puck in their own end. It's McCarthy on the forecheck. That puck shoveled farther by the Hawks. Nikolaitis in to try and keep the zone at the near half wall. He's able to do so and works it down toward Russo. Russo farther from McCarthy. McCarthy bodied there. Russo now in for support. That puck's kicked farther by the Hawks, and it's going to be a breakout play for them across their blue line. The Hawks send that all the way across the ice. Reaching for it is the Dix Hills man. Can't quite get there. Viscoso gets in the way of that slot pass. It's now the Stars turning for the puck. Nikolaitis tries to work that puck over. It comes into the slot. It's touched home. Well, that bouncing puck right to the top of the blue paint. And it was a bang-bang play. The Hawks find the back of the net. They've done so once in each period here in Dix Hills. And so with 10:19 left to go here in the final period, it's Hawks 3, Stars nothing. Well, it'll be Zimmage at center ice to take this draw. He's got Conforti to his left, Bizarro to his right. Cornati and Schaefer out there as the defensive pair. That puck's one forward. Bizarro tries to dump in, hits a skate. Zimmage in for support. Zimmage on the puck now. Goes down to a knee, gets his skates back. Rolling puck is deflected wide by the Hawks defenders. It's Bizarro working over his man in the near corner. Puck sits there momentarily. Hawks come away with it, and they'll look to get this up and out of the zone, but it hits a Stars man as the Hawks try and break out now on the weak side of the ice. Bizarro in the way of that one. He takes over the puck with some time, throws it toward the slot. Handcuffed there with Zimmage, and now the Stars will need to get back. Schaefer first to the puck. He turns with it, chips it up towards Zimmage. Hawks take over at their own blue line. Now through the neutral zone comes Dix Hills. Dix Hills still with the puck. They send it toward the slot, and it's backhanded wide of the cage there. It's now Zimmage on the puck at the far half wall. Zimmage still there, works that puck up toward Conforti. Conforti turns with it. It's one-on-one for Conforti. Now he's got a man behind him, tries to dangle that man, takes a hit in the back just a little bit late. Looks like it's going to go for a cross-check with 9:21 remaining here in the third. Stars down 3, but about to be up a man after the Dix Hills cross-checking call. Well, over the boards comes the power play unit. Nicolaitis, Russo, Bizarro, Coronati, and McCarthy out there to try and get the Stars on the board here in Dix Hills. 9:23 remaining. Excuse me, 9:21 that is, as that face-off win comes up to Coronati. Coronati for McCarthy. McCarthy down to Bizarro. Bizarro tries to go near post top over the shoulder, and instead that puck goes just wide. It's McCarthy working that puck just a bit deeper as Nicolaitis had set up shop in the blue paint. That puck came out of the zone. Coronati disagrees with the call, but he is quick to go ahead and skate away so as not to say anything to the official that would draw that official's ire. This face-off's going to come just outside the Hawks zone. 1:41 still to go on the man advantage for the Stars. Nicolaitis wins that face-off. Bizarro settles that puck down, and he'll dump on in. The Hawks netminder able to cut out that dump in and leave it there for a defender. It was Russo on the forecheck, forcing an early pass, and now bodying his man is Nicolaitis. Russo in for support at the far half wall. That puck comes. It's McCarthy working that just a bit deeper. Now Russo shoots in. It's looking for Bizarro at the far side of the ice, it looked like, and instead that puck went to the near corner. It's now a rolling puck that comes to the half wall. Upended there was Nicolaitis. Coronati tried to keep the zone. Instead, though, the Hawks are going to come the other way. It's Russo skating step for step with his man. The Hawks will stop, delay, roll that toward the slot, but it's Nicolaitis able to get in the way of that initially, and then Speaker kicks aside the ensuing shot. McCarthy back over for Coronati. 54 seconds left to go in the man advantage as Coronati skates that puck up and out of his zone. Coronati through center ice, gains the blue line, looking for a drop pass. Instead, he'll skate it all the way in. Coronati tries to dump it deeper. Russo flicks that up toward McCarthy. McCarthy loads up, shoots in, hits a body in front. McCarthy a second bite at the apple, and that one's going to be blocker down by the Dix Hills netminder, who's able to retrieve his stick as well. Saucered pass comes over toward McCarthy. McCarthy settles that puck down, sends it toward the slot in the bumper. It was Russo shoveling it farther. A save there by the Hawks netminder. Bizarro turns for the puck. Now it's 3 Stars in on it. The Hawks can't clear the zone at first. Rolling puck comes up toward Russo. Body gets in the way. Coronati picks it up, throws it in, looking for a deflection off Nicolaitis. It goes just wide. Russo able to find that rebound, work it down toward Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis with a little bit of time. He'll stop, delay, work that puck off the half wall for Coronati. Just 5 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Coronati for McCarthy. McCarthy shoots in. That puck sits in the blue paint, and then it's rejected on out by the Hawks. That puck is going to come all the way into the Stars zone. Out of the box was the Hawks man. That doesn't reach the end line, and the Hawks will keep the offensive zone here. Coronati works his man over. It's the Hawks throwing that toward the net front, and it's cut out by McCarthy. Bizarro tries to work that puck out of his own zone. Bizarro on the puck, and he'll delay on the forehand and now skate and try to reverse to himself. He works that puck up toward Russo. Russo chips it farther for Coronati. Not out of the zone as the Hawks keep it at the far point. Streaking across and pinching in were the Hawks, but it was cut out by Nicolaitis and Bizarro, and now McCarthy jams it up and out of the zone. 6:42 left to play here in the third period from Long Island. It's the Hawks working that puck up and out of their zone, and it's going to come all the way into the Star zone. The Hawks have it there at the end line. It's sticked farther, though, by the Stars, and then thrown up and out of the zone. Skating for it fast is Fisher. Tries to beat his man there. Fisher first to it. It's thrown just out. Conforti tries to throw that in just wide of the cage. It's Fisher now, first to the puck. The Hawks will look to take over again. Side of the cage. Hits the side of the cage. Follow-up shot is bodied there by the Dix Hills goalie. It's Zimmage on the puck in the near corner, and 2 Hawks men are able to separate him from the puck, and it looks like the Hawks will break out of the zone. They come through the neutral zone, does Dix Hills. Long stick of Viscoso forces his man wide. It's thrown across there, and the Hawks can't connect after Viscoso had worked over his man. It's the Hawks dumping that puck in once again. Leshner out with Viscoso. Viscoso will take it from behind the net, rack it all the way around on a zone exit. Looks like this one's going to cross the end line, though, for an icing. It does. 5:39 remaining to go here from Dix Hills. The Stars in desperate need of a goal or 3 to try and even this one up. It's going to be a defensive zone draw for the team from Coney Island. Nicolaitis, near circle faceoff. Fauci to his his right. And Schaefer to his left. Schaefer takes that faceoff win, works it up to the near point. Dix Hills fires in again. Boy, that puck was deflected up and wide. Looked like it was a chop there. Speaker sticks it farther after making the chest save. And it'll be the Stars looking to get this puck up and out of the zone. Puck rolls up toward Nicolaitis. He tries to jam it farther. The Hawks in the way. And now that puck's going to come all the way up toward Schaefer, who tries to rack it around. It hits a skate guard and comes right back to the other side of the zone. The Stars still trying to work this puck up and out across the blue line. Chipped farther by the Hawks. Rolling puck. Gorloff picks it up on the forehand. Uses the boards to get that up and out of the zone. Waiting for it there was Bizarro, who turned with the puck. Chips it over toward Fauci. Fauci takes that puck down. Tries to get the shot off. Some good defensive work, though, by the Hawks. Keeps him from being able to pull the trigger. Under 5 minutes left to play here in the third, as the Hawks will send that all the way to the weak side of the ice. They work it up to their own blue line and chip it on out. Gorloff tries to stick that farther. It comes just into the zone, though, and so with 4:37 remaining, it's going to be a face-off outside the Hawks zone. Well, folks, a reminder, next weekend, the Stars are down in New Jersey, first in Middletown, then Atlantic City. It's an EJ showcase, and we hope to have all the coverage for you right here on Midnight Sports starting at 5:15 p.m. on Friday evening when the Stars take on the Wilmington Junior Seahawks. But still, 4.5 minutes left to go in this one as the Stars fire in, and they're able to keep the zone through Coronati. It's McCarthy dumping it in deeper. Zimmage on the puck at the end board. Spins, throws it out front, comes up to McCarthy. McCarthy shoots in, and it's saved once again by the Hawks netminder. And so 4:14 left to play here as the Stars pushing to get on the board. But the Hawks netminder stands tall, and it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Stars. It's Zimmage tying up his man. McCarthy fires in, works the puck deeper, comes up toward the near point. It's sticked out, though, and now the race is on. The Hawks on a mini break into the offensive zone. They try and go around, and it was Viscoso getting in the way. And then the ensuing pass gets thrown across the blue paint. Nobody home. Boy, Viscoso got back in a hurry and was able to tie up the stick of his man on the shot. That puck leaves the zone. McCarthy jabs it farther as the Stars will have to get back here on defense. It's the Hawks firing in. Speaker just sticks that aside, finds the puck between his pads, and he covers up with 3:44 remaining to go here in the third. It's a defensive zone draw coming up for the Stars. Now it'll be Nicolaitis at the far circle. Conforti, Schaefer, Gorloff, and Fisher out there as the 5 skaters. Well, the Stars violated on that faceoff as they had crept into the circle. And so it's Conforti taking that faceoff, working it forward. Puck spilled into the slot there after the Speaker save, but the Stars get to it first. Conforti now tries to work it out of the zone. He does. Hawks take over at center ice. Hawks work it to the weak side of the ice, right in front of the scorer's table. They look to dump in. They hit a body, but on the second bite of the apple, they're able to do so. Speaker able to settle that rolling puck back for Gorloff, who jams it off the boards up toward Conforti. Conforti turns with it. It's Nicolaitis on the puck, and the Hawks try to take it off Fisher, but Fisher gets back for it, hits it off a skate at center ice, and the Hawks will turn and curl with the puck into the offensive zone. It's Schaefer getting back. The Hawks set up at the near half wall. They throw it across, that bouncing puck up into the net, though, after it hit a stick on the deflection. Faceoff looks to be coming to Speaker's left here in the defensive zone. And the Stars will get a line change out of it. 3:04 remaining to go here from Dix Hills. It'll be Fauci at the dot. Bizarro out there with him. Looks like McCarthy as well. Puck sits at the dot, chipped up by Bizarro, not out of the zone just yet. The Hawks able to keep the zone. They circle behind the net, look to come out toward the front. They throw it to the top of the slot. They settle that puck, jab it just a bit farther. Turning shot doesn't connect, and it'll be Gorloff to pick it up at the end boards. Gorloff works it up, not out of the zone just yet. Rolling puck comes to a Hawks player at the top of the circle. They look to jab it farther into the slot. They do. Pass left there. Speaker able to gobble that one up with the glove as that rolling puck had come on in. And so Speaker makes the save. Looks like the scorekeeper thought that was a goal, but that puck was in Speaker's glove the whole time. And so the goal horn sound was just errant. In any event, 2:37 left to go here. Still a 3-goal lead for the Hawks as the Stars try to work that puck up and out of the zone. Rolling puck toward the slot, shoveled farther there by Leshner. And the Hawks will dump right back in. Leshner up for Bizarro. Bizarro with a nice stick lift on his man. And the Hawks will jam it in on the strong side as McCarthy had set up at center ice to try and take that puck off any sort of zone exit pass. It's McCarthy working that past the blue line after the Hawks shot went wide of the cage. It's McCarthy trying to work it farther, but the Hawks will dump right back in, and Leshner turns for the puck at the far side of the ice. Works it up to the far half wall. Rolling puck comes right back toward Leshner. Works it farther for McCarthy. McCarthy up toward Bizarro, just out of his reach, and we tick under 2 minutes left to play here from Dix Hills. It's Fauci on the forecheck. Bizarro in the offensive zone with him. And it'll be Fisher who's able to take the puck off his man. Bizarro into the offensive zone. He'll stop, delay, try and settle that rolling puck. It's going to come out of the zone, though, and it's going to be picked up by Nico Viscoso, who works it over toward the scorer's table. Leshner jabs it farther. The Hawks take over and work that puck at their own blue line, point to point. It's the Hawks on the puck. Just 90 seconds left to play here as the Hawks work that toward the offensive zone. It's Leshner tracking back, jabbing it once again out of the zone. Good stick work by him. Rolling puck towards Zimmage. Zimmage back for Fisher. Fisher on the puck, but it's the Hawks coming the other way. The Hawks into the offensive zone. They look to streak toward the slot. It's chipped farther there. Viscoso had stayed with his man, and so it's Viscoso working that up and out of the zone. No icing here as the Hawks will touch up before it hits the end line. 1:07 left to play in this game as Zimmage tries to cut out the zone breakout. The Hawks are going to be able to get it through the zone, but not past Bizarro and Coronati. And now they stick it farther, but it's Schaefer in the way there as he was able to get that puck out of his zone. The Hawks tap it farther. Nice zone breakout, give and go there for the Hawks as they come into the offensive zone. They're into the slot now, are the Hawks. They shoot in. They go over the cage, and so it'll be Zimmage picking up that puck. And Conforti calling for it at center ice. Zimmage finds it again. Into the offensive zone comes Zimmage, but it's sticked out of the zone there by the Hawks with just 35 seconds left to go. Coronati will gain the line and dump in. Rolling puck all the way toward the end boards. It's Conforti on his man, jabbed up to the near side of the ice. Zimmage tries to go around a man there. Rolling puck toward the slot. The Hawks will break out right back the other way. The Hawks throw that all the way across the ice, and they'll delay on gaining the zone. Coronati in the way of his man. 15 seconds left to go as it's jabbed out of the zone once again. The Hawks pick it up at their blue line, looking to kill off just the last 10 seconds of this game. The Hawks work it up to center ice. Zimmage tries to rub his man off the play. The Hawks break in. They've got one more shot coming here as they shoot in. Speaker kicks it aside. There goes the buzzer. Well, we've gone final here in Dix Hills, Long Island. After 3 periods, it's the Dix Hills Hawks 3, the New York Stars nothing. Thanks so much for joining us here on Midnight Sports. We'll see you on Friday for the EJ Showcase from Middletown, New Jersey at 5:15 p.m. Until then, stay safe.